Talking about your trip to Beijing in 2011.
Yeah,
that was more than a decade ago. Show the audience we got something pretty amazing here.
So 11 years ago, I was visiting here as a tourist, and then here I am, walking out of the start of an opening ceremony for my own Olympic Games. Yeah, I never would have dreamed that would.
And the panda hat that Bing Duan so popular right now. So have you ever thought about being here like more than a decade later?
I mean, obviously it's been on my mind the last few years. It's been all I can think about. But if you asked the Axel of 11 years ago whether he thought he'd be here competing, it was almost certainly no. This has kind of all come about in the last decade, and I'm proud to be here.
So speaking of that, what's the goal this time, especially for yourself and also for the team?
Yeah, well, I mean, the main goal is to enjoy the experience, to really soak up the Olympic Games in terms of actual athletic performance. We're aiming for a top 20. There's 30 sleds in the race. Realistically, we know we're not going to be looking at medals this time around, maybe in 4 years, but right now we want to try and hit a top 20 out of the 30 sleds that are here and show that Trinidad and Tobago, we're here and we're actually relevant.
We know that the team is actually pretty young. It has a short history of being in the nation, and also it's your first Olympics. So tell us the story. Like, it was just founded about July or August, you just mentioned.
Yeah, so our team, in terms of the actual Trinidad and Tobago bobsled teams, only existed for 6 months. So we've gone from nothing to an Olympic Games.
And already in the Olympic Games.
Indeed. So though I've been competing for 8 years, this is my 8th season, the team is brand new, and Trinidad and Tobago hasn't been represented at a Winter Olympics for 20 years. So that in itself is pretty special, and I'm happy to be the one kind of spearheading that. And
how do you see the long history of track and field in Trinidad and Tobago can utilize being in bobsled?
Yeah, absolutely. So the name of our game is speed. It always is. Everything that we're doing is trying to get that sled moving as fast as we possibly can. So I know my skill set is in being a larger athlete. I'm very powerful, but I lack the top end speed. We know that in Trinidad and Tobago, we've got a wealth of very fast athletes. We've got a steeped history of Olympic success in track and field. So we have a lot of athletes with that elite level speed that I'm lacking that can complement me on the team, and hopefully mean that we can progress over the next few years and become a real challenger on the world stage, not just a presence, but actually a challenger, and be competing for medals.